everybody, and welcome to this episode of Hank's Corner. I'm here with Kirstie Kraus. Hello, Kirstie. How you doing?
Fantastic.
It's awesome.
We're in person.
Yes. It's awesome to see you here in Florida. When did you get to Florida?
I want to say, right before the St. Augustine Songwriters Festival. So it's been a week. It's been a week now. We're about to do some laundry.
Okay, so I know I reached out to you a few months back, and I saw that you were going to possibly doing Florida shows. So we're finally here at this point to where you're doing them. So you said you were down in St. Augustine for a writing festival.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
That was a dream come true. I remember being in St. Augustine February of 2020 and going down there in an RV just to test out the RV life, where you go into the Planet Fitnesses to freshen up kind of thing. And I was like, I've never done that before. So made a trip to St. Augustine, and I remember checking out all the venues and looking at everything, and then looking at the Colonial Oaks Music Park and being like, have you been there?
I have not been there, so tell me about it.
That specific stage and area, I was like, oh, I would love to come back and play here. So I tried to get the guy's number. I tried to ask, and fast forward a year and a couple months, not only did I played the stage, but it was for the St. Augustine Songwriters Festival. So they gave us T-shirts, and they had our names on the back, and that was way cool.
That's awesome, and I know that from what I've seen with you, you do a lot of planning behind the scenes. I mean, you are, whether it's the social media or getting places to play at the venues and dealing with the managers, you do a lot of work.
Thank you. I'm happy you brought that up, because there's so much stuff that happens behind the curtains, and I call it my admin time. Like it's time, especially in the morning, kind of after I have a little bit of my morning routine. I will, if I'm feeling it, that's when I feel like charged, is in the morning, and then I'm just trying to get back to emails or messages or anything that I can quickly before we gotta be somewhere.
Right. So the music industry is kind of new to me. It's something that I'm branching out to. You know, I normally do photography and videography, that sort of thing. And so you see the final product, you see the artist music out on the records, or you see them do the video, and you don't realize how much effort it takes to do that, and not only that, but how much effort it takes to succeed. And I've seen that you're kind of taking off. You're all over the place, and I have to think that, you know, it's a lot of talent, but it's a lot of hard work. And so I do commend you for seeing that work ethic and doing all that.
Yeah, I mean, I when we got together for a photo shoot, I was thinking like, okay, what's the new look that we're, you know, what are the pieces I want to highlight? There's so many things to think about behind the scenes. I remember my first music video. I've learned even so much since that, putting out that first like retro, it's the song's called Delusional, and had a very like retro feel to it. So I was like, okay, so the visuals, there's that one mural in Nashville, and then maybe we could try this and this outfit, and seeing it then fast forward a couple months later to like it all come together, it was really rewarding, because that's a whole nother creative bucket.
Yes,
to the music industry.
And that was definitely a very creative song and creative video. I definitely enjoyed that. So do you like having your hands in all the different aspects, or do you find that it ever gets too overwhelming?
I don't know if I could do without having my hands in everything. I love collaboration, though, I will say that. So the videographer that I worked with for Thirsty and Silver, he came in and brought a lot of ideas for the music video. And of course that took a lot of my shoulders, but he also had a whole nother level of visual aspects and like bringing the story to life than I wouldn't even thought. I remember we sat at a table and I was like, I pitched my ideas and he pitched his ideas for Thirsty. And I was like, and he's like, okay, which one are we doing? And I was like, what? I cried and got goosebumps on that one idea. We're obviously doing that. So working with other people who have similar mindsets like that is so rewarding, and that's why like just being in Nashville is the place.
Yeah, so when you find somebody that you can kind of feed off of and work, it definitely makes it a lot easier.
Trust that they're going to bring that level of graphics, video, whatever it is, that's key.
Okay. And we don't want it to be all work. So you're in Florida,
Yes.
I moved to Florida to start getting ready for my retirement. So I'm on my way down. And so now that you're here, are you able to do any relaxation, or is it all go, go, go?
Oh, I love this. Yesterday we went to, it's called the Moat in Sarasota. Have you ever heard of it? There's
No, I have not.
animals. We saw the turtles. I mean, it's essentially like a zoo aquarium because most of the wildlife down here are in the water. So that was the best like morning, afternoon with my aunt, and my parents flew in for the week because they're not going to let us be in Florida without them having fun too. So they flew in to see all the shows this week, and we got to do that as a whole family.
Okay. And so where have you played so far?
Yes, 2 days ago, Tuesday, we played at Riviera Dunes Dockside Bar and Grill. That's over in the Palmetto area.
Okay.
So this week, our shows are primarily in the Tampa, Sarasota for this week, and then we head down to the Keys on the 1st, and we do a pit stop party, and we just picked up another show for the Keys.
Okay.
And then before this week, we were in St. Augustine, and we got to do the St. Augustine Songwriters Festival.
All right. And so I got a little bit of a snippet before we started recording that you're doing some songs, and you're trying to put a Florida vibe to that. I like that. So that would be great if you can play, one of your songs, but with a little bit of a Florida twist here for our viewers.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think any song out there can be changed and molded, like as long as you have the basis of the song. So we were just working up all sorts of stuff for our upcoming shows, but I would love to do that.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, this song is called Foridays, and I recently wrote it with my buddy Joe Sly, and we just got to perform it at the St. Augustine Songwriters Festival. And this is Rob Reiser here on the PRS humble guitar. The daiquiri deck is open, clock on the wall is broken, it's everything we were hoping. Got a healthy dose of Bob Marley, got the clear water so sparkly, another postcard of a sunset right before our eyes. Everything orange and teal, gentle breeze, coconut trees pointed out at the open sea. You and me on that endless beach, anytime's alright with me, 'cause all the days are good days when they're flowing days. Grab some ice at the Circle K, 'cause we're gonna be boating all day. Captain looks like Chesney, yeah. Slow it down for the wakes, 'cause we don't want to spill our drinks. Straight cruising or putting along, from Marathon to St. John. Everything orange and teal, gentle breeze, coconut trees pointed out at the open sea. You and me on that endless beach, anytime's alright with me, 'cause all the days are good days when they're flowing days. Flowing days. Open up your sails and let the fall winds blow you wherever they will. And if you're luckier still, they'll bring you to a paradise where everything's orange and teal, gentle breeze, coconut trees flowing days.
And you're listening to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. Here with Kirstie Kraus and guitarist Rob Reiser. And I just heard the song that I think should now be our state song. So that was definitely awesome. The only thing missing is a drink in my hand. So
I love it.
Is this something that we might see when we see you perform out in Plant City?
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely looking forward to hearing that again. So tell me, how did you get started in the music career? Like, what got you going or inspired you?
I'm a lifer, so I really got going when I was 2 years old, like jumping on picnic tables and singing and anything you can think of. At 6 years old, I started doing plays and singing at church and singing at church festivals and competitions and crying because maybe I didn't win, but my mom always said I was learning something. And the whole thing, I was really end up being at a dinner theater, a professional dinner theater, from the time I was 8 to like 13, and then also doing plays at school, and then a band project in high school, and then bands after high school, and then moving to Nashville. So it really was not a choice for me. It was something that I declared on a piece of paper at 6 years old that I wanted to be a singer, and I couldn't spell singer at the time, but
so
I
not
declared
a
it.
choice, but more of a calling, it sounds like.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you feel that a lot of your talent just comes naturally, or do you find that you have to work at that?
Ooh.
Or both?
Rob's gonna love this question when he watches back, but I should practice so much more. I should be very more diligent about practicing. Sometimes I get myself buried way too much into the social aspect because I love people and the admin stuff. When I have a pile of songs that I should be able to play out live right now that I would love to share. So making time for that is super important as well, and I'm saying that out loud for myself.
Okay. Did you have any particular influences when you said you were singing everything at 5 years old? Was there anybody in particular that you looked up to and said, hey, that's what I want to do. I want to be like that person?
Oh my gosh, Amy Grant and Gloria Estefan. Loved it. I loved dancing in the living room. I also listened to a lot of Joni Bartels, which on cassette tapes, and knew every single word to all of her songs. It was very similar to like the Banana Phone kind of stuff, like Banana Phone, da da da. I listened to all that, kids sing-alongs, but really it was Amy Grant, Gloria Estefan, and then I remember a lot of like Brian White and Phil Collins played in the house, and then Styx. I remember really feeling like I loved when Styx was on as well. So. And
you just listed, people from this genre and that genre, and I can kind of tell in your music too that it does seem to be a mix, that you get your influences from different spots, right?
I love hearing that. I love that. That's like the goal, I think, when you dive into an artist, you're like, okay, I can kind of hear that why she or him likes this song. That's like, I think that's best.
So it kind of comes naturally to you. So when you're out there performing, is that also natural to you, that you just you feel the moment when you're out there, or do you ever get any type of stage fright?
I'll get like anxious, excited, but even like the bigger shows, like I'm going to be going back to my home state of Wisconsin and opening for Randy Houser. I have subconsciously been thinking about how that show is going to go and what the energy is going to be like and what the vibe's going to be like on stage. Maybe I'm not like replaying each song in my head, but I'm definitely like setting the tone for what I want that show to be like. And so I would say I don't necessarily get nervous, but when I'm on stage, it's a whole nother ball game. I enter into a world where I'm just bearing my soul, and then it makes me happy if people are enjoying themselves, and I feel like then we have this connection.
Because when I see you, I see you very relaxed up there. I mean, so like into it. It's almost like not a care in the world to you, and the music just kind of flows to you. And I don't know if that's how you're feeling when you're up there, but it definitely looks that way. It's just so natural for you. One of the other things I wanted to talk about now that I'm starting my podcast here is that you do some podcasting yourself with
Yes.
Brandon Morrell and the Backstage Pass. And first of all, how do you find time to do that?
Well, they are so supportive. They really work around the schedule. They know I'm an artist first, and then the fact that I get to be a host with them and on the team of, I think that we have 4 people now, Brandon, Jeff, Karen, and Nick. Oh, and me. So that's 5. We have 5 people on the team. So between us, we can cover all the interviews, and the team has been growing. So I probably do, right now that the world has opened up again, like 1 or 2 a week. But some of these artists, they kill me. I mean, they're so good, and I would have never discovered them had I not had that opportunity or outlet.
Who did you find that was most surprisingly that you were glad to be able to meet through the broadcast?
I really liked Ryan Garrett's style. He's the first one to come to mind. There's so many, but he had a unique tone to him, and a very, like, you can tell he just loves music. He's laid back. He doesn't have, it wasn't a choice for him. You can tell the passion is there, and he's not necessarily caught up in the industry. He's just truly trying to just speak his heart and soul. And so I really gravitated towards him, and then fast forward, we connected through the Backstage Pass, and then I had him being around with me at the local.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty cool. So if you could interview one person, who would you want to get to interview like that?
I mean, I just interviewed Crystal Gayle, like, on a red carpet. I'm like, what?
That's amazing.
So how do you top that? I was really looking forward to talking with Pam Tillis that day, and I've talked to Pam Tillis backstage and had a conversation with her when I opened for the Chicks with Hits with her and Terry Clark and Susie Boggess. But being in front of a camera, interviewing her, she's so genuine and such a pro. And I think that I would have to say her. I was just hoping that I got to interview her that day. But
and you mentioned the red carpet. Tell us about that event that you got to go to.
Yeah, it was our first live event that the Backstage Pass could be in charge of the media for that event. So we set up a camera, and it was my first time doing live in-person interviews. And sometimes you don't know who's walking towards you, or you have a cue card and you got to read really quick. I mean, so of course I think it went over really well the first time, but there's always room for improvement. So.
Right. And did you feel a little stress in that? Because I know as I'm starting out, I feel a little stressful still starting the interviews and all that. But did you feel the stress of that, or is that just something else that came naturally for you as well?
I was a little stressed out. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, okay, well, I'm as prepared as I can be right now, and I got the team, and I'm gonna lean on Jeff as well, part of the Backstage Pass team. If he knows anybody, he can kind of like whisper in my ear really quick. But I was actually shocked on how good and natural it did feel, and I had a blast, and then the time went by like that. Because when you're in that space, it really feels like the time goes by slow and fast. It's so weird, and that's exactly how it felt.
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
So along those lines, if you could perform with anybody on stage, who would you like to perform with?
I mean, I get to perform with Rob Reiser on stage all the time, and that is a real treat. But an artist that I would love to perform with, I'm going to say Dierks Bentley.
Okay.
He has the best lineup all the time of other artists as well, but I've always just looked up to him as an artist. And fun fact, my mom had a dream when she was little that I was going to be opening for Dierks one day. So if I open for him and then go on stage and we sing a duet, that would be fulfilling her dream.
Okay, well, maybe you'll hear this and ask you to do that. So tell me tell me about your latest album.
So the album, Yes You Can, is really a body work it's 11 songs and 2 bonus tracks when you buy it as physical copy on the website, KirstieKraus.com. But it's overall such a stamp and a snapshot of me as a writer, as what I think feel-good music is. It kind of pushes the box of just straight country, and it's my own sound. Through people listening to that record, they've told me it sounds like a happy Stevie Nicks, maybe with some I've heard so many different things, and the feedback that I've gotten has been just one person likes these 3 songs and this person likes 3 different songs, and so that I think says a lot about the project, is that there's a song in there for everybody.
And you say that there's kind of somebody can hear maybe a little bit of this or a little bit of that, but yet it has its own unique sound to it, which makes it even better, because you like you said, you bring in the different people and they like it for different reasons. You write most of your songs?
We worked hard on finding that sound and finding what my sound was to be only staple and unique to me as an artist.
And do you think you found that this is Kirstie Kraus right here?
I definitely feel like it covers that. However, some of those songs, I wrote 3 or 4 years ago now, so the amount of songs that I have for the next 3 projects is, or I could write one tomorrow and be like, well, maybe that's for this next album. It is always changing. It always depends on what you're listening to, things that you hear people say. I mean, that's what's cool about the creative process, is that comes in to everything that we do and eventually put into a song.
Yeah. Well, I know I definitely enjoy listening to the whole album. It's not just 1 or 2 songs. I definitely enjoy all of it. Would you sing a song off that album for us here as well?
We definitely could do that.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. How about we do Bird? We're going to do Bird. This song is about not flipping people off. And I wrote it with Mark Addison Chandler and Ark Fu. And we shout out to Mitch Max for making t-shirts that go along with this song that say "You Don't Deserve My Bird" on them. Maybe we can put a link somewhere. But yeah, this song's called Bird. Yeah. I never thought I could be affected by criticism, poisoned by your cynicism, lies in the shadow side of me, living in a shadow of clouds. But this is my philosophy now. Hey, hey, grate my teeth and bury, forget it. You ain't even strong enough to steal my pride. Shay don't got married, Sherry, with somebody else who wants to waste their time. I'm gonna raise my cheeks and smile for you, just for the record. I ain't cursing, you ain't worth it, you don't deserve my bird. Yeah. My every breath is my currency. Spend it on the positive, loving how I'm dropping it. I let her fly, spread her wings, only in my head and my dreams. Read between the pointer and ring. Hey, hey, grit my teeth, then bury, forget it. You ain't even strong enough to steal my pride. Shay don't got married, Sherry, with somebody else who wants to waste their time. I'm gonna raise my cheeks and smile for you, just for the record. I ain't cursing, you ain't worth it, you don't deserve my bird. I ain't cursing, you ain't landed on the positive, loving how I'm dropping it. I ain't cursing, you ain't worth it, you don't deserve my bird. I ain't cursing, you ain't worth it, you don't deserve my bird. My bird, you don't deserve my bird. My bird, you don't deserve my bird.
That's Kirstie Kraus, accompanied by Rob Reiser, singing her hit single "Bird." And if you do like that song, definitely go out and get those T-shirts.
Or a copy of it.
So you're here in Florida for how much longer?
We're gonna be driving back up on the 7th, making a pit stop, and then going back to Nashville on the 8th.
Okay. Anything else in the future that you might want to give us a little sneak peek of any projects you might have going on?
I will say this. We are talking to a lot of producers right now, and definitely have one selected for maybe some Florida songs, maybe
Okay.
some Florida vibey
Hint, hint.
stuff, and yeah, doing a lot of research on who's that next person that's going to be able to help me capture the sound that I'm going for.
All right. Well, definitely we'll be looking out for that. I encourage you guys to follow Kirstie Kraus on all her social media. You won't be disappointed.
Yes.
If this is any show of what she has, it's definitely great. So I thank you guys for being here today, coming out. I'm definitely looking forward to your show on Halloween. Are you going to be dressing up in any costumes?
My aunt said she might have something for me to borrow.
Okay.
So we're going to look at that.
So if you're in the Plant City, which is in the Tampa Bay area, come out and see if she does dress up or not. But whether or not she does, it's going to be a great show. So thanks for being here today on Hank's Corner.
Thank you so much, Henry, for having me. I'm so glad we got to do this in person, too.
Yep.
And thanks for having me as a guest.